Hello, everyone. Welcome to Yoga with Susan. Today is the fourth in a series of 7 videos that I'm doing on the chakras. So today we are here on the fourth one, the heart chakra. So let's get started. We'll get started by having a seated position on the floor, whatever is comfortable for you. You can sit with your legs out in front or you can sit cross-legged. So the fourth chakra is the dorsal chakra, which is located opposite the heart. The element is air, the color is green, and it relates to how we deal with others. So let's just get started today. Taking a few breaths like we usually do, breathing in and out. Nice long inhale through our nose. And a nice long exhale, maybe sighing it out, feeling yourself relaxing before we start our class. And then we're going to have our hands at our heart. Let's sit up nice and straight with our hands at our heart. We're going to push our hands one way, turn our head the opposite way. And then we'll come back to the center. Let's go the other way, pushing our hands, turning our head back to the center, and again taking a breath in as we push our hands, a breath out as we come to the middle. And again, breathing in, turning our head, breathing out. Let's do that one more time, taking a breath in as we turn our head and push our hands, a breath out in the middle and the other way. Okay, today we're going to come to our stomach. We're going to come into Sphinx pose. So we're just laying on our stomach here. And it's a nice, gentle, sort of a gentle back bend. Not really much of a back bend. We're just kind of relaxing here in our Sphinx pose. We have our elbows under our shoulders. Our forearms are down on the earth. Our toes are pointed back. Let's just take a few breaths here in our Sphinx pose. And then we're going to move on to Cobra. So we're moving our hands underneath our shoulders, elbows are pointed back, toes are pointed back, and we're going to rise up, just a little baby Cobra to start with, inhaling, and then exhaling, coming back down. Let's do that again. Inhaling, rising up, opening up your heart, exhaling back down. We'll do it one more time. Coming into our Cobra. And for those of you who have upward facing dog in your practice, go ahead with the upward facing dog. So your arms are straight, you're on the tops of your feet, and your knees are lifted up off of the mat. Let's come back down. We're going to come into tabletop. We're going to, let's have our knees a little bit apart here. We're going to lift up one arm and then thread it underneath. We're going to do it in a flowing kind of thing, opening up our heart and then exhaling it, threading the needle. So instead of staying in the threaded needle like we usually do, we're going to do it more like a flow today. So exhaling, coming through, inhaling, feeling like you're opening up your heart, exhaling, going through. Let's do that twice more. Taking a breath in and a breath out. One more time like that. Opening up. And then coming back to our tabletop. All right. We'll do the other side. Here we go. Opening up. And then threading it through. Coming again. Inhaling. Opening, exhaling, threading, and again, inhaling, opening up your heart, exhaling, bringing your arm through. We'll do it twice more, taking a breath in and a breath out. One more time like that, breathing in and breathing out. All right, coming back to our tabletop, we're just going to move through downward dog just to come to Tadasana. So we're walking our feet up to our hands and rising up to standing. And here we are in Tadasana. All right, pose, feeling your heart open. You can have your hands facing, with your palms facing front, which helps to open up the front of your body. All right, we're going to move on now and do, it's very similar to Warrior One, just tiny bit different in that our feet will not be quite as far apart. So we have our Warrior One type of stance, but maybe not quite as far apart with our feet. And we're bringing our arms up and our hands together above our head. This one is called Muktasana or freedom pose. We're having a little bit of a back bend here, so it's very much like Warrior One. It's just not quite as big of a stance. We're going to feel our heart open up. So you're looking a little bit up, not with your head like jackknifed back, but just a smidge of looking up, maybe like where your wall and ceiling come together. And then we'll step our feet back together, taking a breath here, and then doing the other side. So again, stepping forward and back, just like Warrior One, only not as big. We have our arms up in the air. We'll put our hands together. And again, think about reaching up and then back just a little bit. So it's not much of a back bend, just a tiny one. Feeling like you're opening up a little bit here. And we'll hold that just a little bit more. And then we'll come back to our mountain pose. Okay, we're going to have our feet a little bit apart here. And we're keeping one foot facing forward, the other foot turns out. We're doing triangle. So for a triangle, we're not going to bend our knee, but don't hyperextend your knee. So you might need like a little micro bend in your knee. And then we have our palms facing forward. Now in triangle, we're reaching to the side. I see a lot of people sometimes bend down when they're doing triangle, but you're not bending down. You're reaching to the side and then putting your hand down. Your other one can come up. So your heart is facing forward. Your heart is not facing towards the ground here on triangle pose. All right, very good. And it doesn't matter how far down you get this hand. Some people think the goal is to get this hand to your foot, but it's really not. All right, it doesn't have to be very far down at all. All right, we're going to come back through the middle. We'll make our star, and then we'll do the other side. This foot faces forward. This foot turns out. And then we have our palms facing forward, reaching to the side. And then our hand comes down wherever it happens to fall. It doesn't matter how far down it comes here in our triangle pose. If you like to look up on triangle, feel free. You don't want to look up, you don't have to. You can look down here on triangle if you like looking down. But feeling your heart is open here. In triangle, we'll come back to the middle, making a star, stepping our feet together. Let's have our hands a little bit away from our body. We'll take a breath in and bring our hands up. And then we'll take a breath out and bring our hands down. Let's do that again. Inhaling, bringing our hands up, maybe looking up. Exhaling, bringing our hands down. Let's do it again. Our hands come all the way up, and this time we're just going to kind of fold forward, bringing our hands down, and then come right back up again on the inhale. Inhaling up with our hands, exhaling, folding forward. One more time, let's come back up, lifting up our hands, and then we'll come back down, this time having a seat down on the mat. All right, we're going to sit in a wide-legged position here today, and sitting up nice and tall. We're going to bring one hand to the inside of our leg, and this other arm comes up. So we're going to see if we can twist a little bit to the side. So we're twisting to the side here, feeling nice and open, using this arm that's alongside your leg as a little bit of a leverage, not a lot, a smidge of a leverage, helping yourself to turn to the side. Now, if this works for you, you can bring your arm further But again, not if you're collapsing, only if you're staying up nice and tall with turning to the side, looking to the side here, looking under your arm. And we'll hold that just a little bit longer. And then coming back up to the middle. Let's go the other way. So now this arm is inside of this leg, this arm reaches up. Now, maybe you just want to just do this, and that's fine too. But if you want, you can add that little bit of a twisting. And then if you want, you can bring this arm over. And again, not collapsing. You're looking underneath your arm here. And let's hold this just for a little bit on this side. And then coming back up to the middle. Let's put our legs together. We're going to do a little bit of a spinal twist here. Let's bend one knee. Now, if you want, you can cross this foot over, or you don't have to. You can have it on the inside or the outside of your leg. And for those who really want to, you can also bend this knee and bring that foot back by your hip. So if you want to do it like that, you can, but not required. If that makes you feel off kilter, then have your legs straight out in front of you. We're going to stand up nice, sorry, not standing, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to gently turn towards our bent knee. So it's not a yanking turn, it's just a nice, easy, gentle turn. Feeling like the bottom of your spine turns first, then the middle, and then the top, twisting to the side, opening your heart to the side. And if you wish, you can look back behind you. Again, not required. If that doesn't feel right for you, then don't do it. And we'll hold this just a little bit more. Taking a few nice long breaths here. Coming back to the front, let's straighten both legs. We'll bend this other knee. And again, you can cross it over. You can do this whole thing, bringing your heel back behind your hip. But only if that feels right for you. If it doesn't, keep your legs straight. All right, sitting up nice and tall, twisting towards this knee now, towards the bent knee side. And here we go, twisting to the back here on this spinal twist. And again, if you wish, you can look back behind you, and we'll take a few breaths here. Coming back to the front, nice and slow with the unwind, just like it was slow with winding and slow unwinding too. All right, sitting up nice and tall again. All right, we're gonna come to our back. We'll do bridge pose here. So laying down on our back, think about having your heels towards your hips with your knees bent. We're just gonna lift our hips up into the air. So for bridge pose, you can interlace your fingers underneath your back and roll your shoulders under. That'll give you a higher bridge. Notice if your knees are coming out to the side. They should not be doing that. They should be in line with the rest of your body. And we'll lower back down. We're going to do bridge again. Inhaling, lifting up your hips, maybe interlacing your hands underneath, rising up. If you have wheel in your practice, go ahead and do it. Let's come back down. If you have wheel, you can go ahead and do it. I do not have wheel in my practice, so I will not be demonstrating it, but for those of you who do, go ahead and do it. We're going to inhale again, lifting our hips up, doing the bridge, or the wheel if you are able to do the wheel. We're going to hold this a little bit longer, lifting our hips up, and then we'll come back down. All right, very good. Still laying on our back, we'll put the soles of our feet together, opening our knees to the side for a reclining bound angle pose. If you can get your knees down to the ground, that's very good. I personally cannot get them to the ground. So if you're watching this and your knees go to the ground, that's how it's good. Or if they don't go to the ground, that's okay too. All right, we're just gonna stay here just for a little bit. Taking a few breaths here. And then we'll bring our knees in, giving ourselves a little hug, maybe rocking a little bit side to side. All right, for those of you who want to do Shavasana, go right ahead. But what I've been doing in this series of the chakra classes, I've been ending the classes with a pranayama. So we will be doing a little breathing exercise here at the end. If you prefer doing some Shavasana where you're just laying on your mat, feel free to do that. Otherwise, today we're doing what's called measured breathing. We're going to take some breaths through our nose, inhaling and exhaling, and make the length of the inhale match the length of the exhale. If you want, you can close your eyes. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can. Thinking about breathing in and counting however long that takes. Maybe it's the count of 3 or 4 or 5. And then exhaling that same length, both inhaling and exhaling through your nose. So let's give that a whirl. We'll take a breath in, counting to yourself. Breath out. And do it at your own pace. So however long it takes to breathe in, and however long it takes to breathe out. Let's do that a few times, having the length of the inhale and the exhale be the same. Now we're going to add on to the top of the breath. So when you're breathing in, let's say you're breathing in for the count of 4, then hold the top for 4 and then exhale for 4. So let's do that a few times. Breathing in, holding, and breathing out. And again, doing it at your own pace. We're going to add on one more thing. We're going to add on a hold at the bottom also. So we'll breathe in, we'll say for the count of 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and then hold at the bottom for 4 before you take your next breath. And let's do that a few times. All right, you can open your eyes if you had them closed. I hope you enjoyed this class today. Let's take a breath up on the inhale and then have our hands together, bringing our hands to our heart and give each other the greeting of Namaste. And I hope to see you again soon on Yoga with Susan. Thank you. Bye now.